Not every guitar needs to be perfect. It just needs to be right for the moment. I think everyone needs a guitar that they're not afraid to use. Something that you can throw in the truck, take with you to the lake, bring camping, or take on vacation without constantly worrying about it. Because most of the time, we either don't bring a guitar or we bring one that we're afraid to use. And I realized I didn't really have one of those kind of guitars. I've got this Old Johnson Acoustic that I've had for years. It was built as an entry-level guitar, probably found at your local Walmart or even at Kmart back in the day. Cheap plastic hardware, worn finishes, nothing particularly special. But underneath all of that, it actually sounded pretty decent given what it was. It wasn't a bad guitar, it just had a lot of things holding it back. And because of that, it mostly sat in the corner or untouched in the closet, under a bed, away from me. I'd never really worked on an acoustic before, and honestly, I wasn't even sure this guitar was worth putting time into. But that's what kind of made it interesting. I wanted to see what was actually hiding underneath all of those years of neglect. So, I decided to give it a fresh pass. And honestly, this part did not exactly go according to plan. I actually didn't film any of the refinishing because I was simply trying to figure it out as I went. I started stripping the original finish and yeah, it didn't go good. There was definitely some spots that didn't come out the way I had hoped. Eventually I realized I had two choices. Keep chasing perfection, not an option, or move the project forward. And since I already had color tone black on hand, I painted the body and the headstock, sanded everything back to a satin finish, and suddenly it started feeling intentional instead of repaired. One thing that surprised me through this whole project, I thought I was rebuilding a guitar, and somewhere along the way I realized I was trying to build a guitar I actually want to play. Those aren't always the same thing. There are plenty of guitars that look great, but the real question is, do they make you want to go pick them up? And somewhere during this project, that became the real goal. The neck ended up being the biggest surprise. I stripped it down to bare wood, stained it darker, and finished it with some True Oil. It completely changed how the guitar feels. It went from feeling sticky and inexpensive to feeling broken in, comfortable, and most importantly, natural. If you've played guitar for very long, you've probably owned or played a guitar that actually looked better than it felt. This project actually reminded me just how important the neck really is. Every chord, every note, every practice session happens right here. And this was also my first time using True Oil. And honestly, I love how it turned out. It feels natural, it feels smooth, and it doesn't feel sticky. It just feels like a guitar that's been played for years. I like it so much that I am definitely going to use True Oil somewhere down the road on future projects. I also added a custom water slide decal that I designed and had Bedlam Creations whip up and send to me. That was mostly practice for another future project, but it also gave this guitar something it really never had before, and that's an identity. One thing I didn't expect was how much the personality of this guitar would change. There are still flaws. There are still scars from me trying to strip the original finish. But honestly, I think the flaws fit this guitar. Between the satin black finish, the darker neck, and with the custom logo, it finally feels like a guitar that's lived a little, like it already has a few stories to tell. Once I got all that finish work done, it was finally time to put it all back together. And in doing so, we made some upgrades. I wasn't trying to replace every part. I was trying to remove the things that kept getting in the way of actually enjoying this guitar. Some of that meant choosing better components, and some of it meant figuring out what would actually fit this old budget instrument and is worth buying. The original saddle was molded plastic, one of the more common weak points on guitars in this price range. So, I replaced it with a Graph Tech TUSQ compensated saddle. This was one of the few upgrades where I expected to hear a difference immediately. And you guessed it, the original nut was also plastic. The TUSQ replacement was surprisingly close in size. It only needed a little shaping before installation, but I expect better tuning stability, better consistency, and just one less thing working against the guitar. The new bridge pins, which are ebony, probably took more work than I expected. Whether they changed the tone or not, is something that guitar players will probably debate forever, but they felt like the right fit for direction of this project. I ended up reaming the bridge quite a bit to get everything seated correctly, and once they fit, everything started working the way it should. For this guitar, finding replacement tuners wasn't as straightforward as I expected. It seems like older import guitars don't always have perfectly consistent hole sizes. I've had great experience with Goto hardware on other projects, so they were an easy choice here. Smooth, reliable, and just exactly what the guitar needed. Obviously, the pickguard doesn't change the sound, but it completes the look. This isn't a guitar that's going to live in a case. It's meant to be used. None of this was about turning this into a high-end acoustic. It was about removing the weakest points and giving the guitar the best chance it has to do its job. After everything was installed, I finally tuned it up. I didn't really know what to expect with this. The first thing I played, like I always do when restringing an acoustic guitar, was that big open E chord. And immediately, I knew this guitar had changed. The biggest surprise was the tone. It was louder, fuller, and even more balanced. The low end felt stronger, and the highs, they still had plenty of ring. Honestly, it sounded dramatically better than it did before the project. No, it doesn't sound as good as my Martin. And that's not the point. But it absolutely exceeded what I expected for this project. Then I did something I wasn't planning on. I stopped filming. I stopped thinking about YouTube. And I just lived with the guitar for a while. I took it with me. And even to the beach. I played it. I listened to it. I wanted to understand it. I needed to do all that before I told you exactly what I thought about it. So, after spending some time with it, I realized there was still one more thing I needed to change. The action was just a little higher than I wanted. It sounded great, but it just wasn't quite playing the way I wanted it to. So I pulled the saddle back out, sanded a little bit more material from the bottom, and I tightened the truss rod just enough to flatten the neck relief a little bit. And those two things did come with a little bit of a trade-off. I think I actually lost a little bit of volume. And if I really dig into it with a heavy pick, I can get a little bit of fret buzz. But for the way I'm actually going to use this guitar, I think it was the right compromise. It feels easier to play, it's more dynamic, and it's even a little bit more responsive. And I'd make that trade every time. The moment for me when I realized that this project was a success wasn't when I finished installing all the parts, and it wasn't when I looked at it. It was when I stopped evaluating it. I was just playing it. That's when I realized this wasn't a project anymore. It had managed to become one of my guitars. Somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking of this thing as a Johnson and started thinking it as Campfire. Not because it's specifically a Campfire guitar, but because that's the role. It's the guitar you can throw in your truck. The guitar you take to the lake. The guitar you bring with you on vacation. The guitar that collects stories rather than collect dust in a closet. There are a lot of good guitars out there, and yeah, probably some ones that I could buy and take to a campfire. But there was just something really satisfying about taking a guitar that already had a story and giving it a new purpose. I thought this project was going to be about making this guitar look better. It ended up being about making me want to play it. And to me, that's a much bigger win. It's still not perfect, but that's okay, because this isn't a museum piece. It's a guitar that's meant to be played. It's meant to travel. It's meant to pick up a few scratches along the way. It's meant to collect stories. Campfire isn't perfect, but I think it'll be just right for the moment it was created for. and I can't wait to see where it goes. Before we jump in the demo, I want to tell you exactly what you're going to hear. I'm going to record the Campfire with my Audio-Technica AT4040 right into my studio, no preamp. I want you to hear the guitar as honestly as I can present it.